Hey guys, today I am reacting to the Baltic States are way more important than you think. Um yeah, I mean, of course the Baltic States include, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. Um and I'd imagine their value is, I guess, correlated with the access to the Baltics and more like water, just sea access. So then that comes into contact with Russia and such. So it's a matter of just how it relates to Russia, which is sort of a more global power, and then the Baltic states might be in the way of that a bit. So they need to be like maybe buffed up or like helped. So then they're a better deterrent against Russia. I mean, that's just my take. But yeah, let's see. Why are the Baltic states way more important than people think? Let's get into it.
Yeah, we
Shoot, the volume. That. Okay.
Known as the Baltic States. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are collectively known as the Baltic States. You've probably heard of them, especially if you've been watching my content, or perhaps you saw
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the Baltic states, I think.
something on the news that Russia is trying to gain influence in one of these countries. So why are these three countries so important in global geopolitics? And why are they a cause for a great deal of tension between the West and Russia? These answers may surprise you. Here's an abridged history of the Baltics over the past 100 years to give you an idea of where they have arisen from. The three Baltic countries each declared independence from the Russian Empire at different points in 1918, with Lithuania being first, followed by Estonia and Latvia. Their independence was challenged by the up-and-coming Red Army, but with the help from international forces, they secured their independence in the early 1920s. However, these countries would not keep their independence for
Wait, did he show Estonia first?
in the coming
Right.
followed the Russian Empire at different points in 1918, with Lithuania being
Oh, okay, he did show Lithuania first, though. Yeah.
first, followed by Estonia and Latvia.
Okay.
Their independence was challenged by the up-and-coming Red Army, but with the help from international forces, they secured their independence in the early 1920s. However, these countries would not keep their independence for very long, as when World War II broke out, the Soviet Union under Joseph Stalin occupied all three countries in 1940. Many Baltic citizens were sent to Siberia during this time as part of a program of forced relocations. After a brief Nazi occupation starting in 1941, the Soviets were able to reclaim the region in 1944. Unsurprisingly, the people of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania did not view their time in the Soviet Union as a positive, and today it is referred to as a time of continued occupation. Once again, the Baltic states would have the opportunity to gain their independence, as the Soviet Union was falling apart. Lithuania restored independence on the 11th of March 1990, Estonia on the 20th of August 1991, and Latvia on the 21st
Wasn't this the singing revolution?
of August 1991. Since then, the three countries have joined the NATO alliance and the European Union, with all joining both in the same year, 2004. This was part of a goal
2004, relatively recently.
in
Yeah.
these countries to become reintegrated with the West in terms of economics, military, and culture. So far, this has succeeded, as the three Baltic states fare much better in terms of gross domestic product per capita, human development index, and standard of living, among other indexes, than all other post-Soviet states and their former satellites. The market economy in each country is strong, with Estonia being of particular
The
interest,
EU.
as many
The EU probably helps with that. Yeah.
international companies, including Skype, were started there. So today the Baltic states are in good shape, right? Taking a look at the demographics of these countries can give a much clearer picture of where they may be headed. The ethnic composition of each country consists of a majority titular ethnicity, with sizable minorities of other ethnic groups.
Lithuania is pretty big though, yeah.
Estonia is around 68% Estonian, Latvia around 62.5% Latvian, Lithuania around 86% Lithuanian. You get
Lots of Russians in Estonia and Latvia, we've heard.
the idea. However, something may have surprised you about Estonia and Latvia. Their titular ethnicities make up less than 70% of their total population. This is due to both countries having around 1/4 of their population identifying as Russian. Though Lithuania is only around 4.5% Russian, all three countries' Russian populations will become important in looking into the geopolitics of the region. Russians have obviously had a large presence in the...
Also, there's this little exclave right over here. This little, Königsberg. What's it called nowadays? Königsberg, let's see. It might have a different name, though. Königsberg, right? Oh, Kaliningrad. That's what it's called nowadays. I just remember the historical name. Königsberg, but yeah. Kaliningrad. Yeah. So that gives Russia access to more access to the Baltic and such, so. Pretty important. If only, Lithuania would have taken that or Poland or something. That's a bit dangerous in Russia's hands.
Baltics throughout history, both in the Russian Empire and the Soviet Union, leading to the country's modern ethnic makeup, though the vast majority moved to these countries during the Soviet times. Not too long ago, Germans were a major ethnic group in the region, as Germanic states and dynasties ruled the area until the Russians established their presence there. Anyway,
and of course they own this little area over here.
It's important now to look at other demographic factors, namely growth rates, birth rates, and population pyramids. These figures show that immediately after these countries restored independence, many young people moved to other countries in Western Europe to find work. Birth rates in the three countries are also extremely low, at 1.6 children per woman on average. Though all of these countries' demographics are in bad shape, meaning that in the near future their small young population won't be able to support a growing old population, Estonia and Lithuania have been able
They need some incentives
to stabilize their populations, and Latvia is seeing a steadily increasing birth rate despite continued population decline. The countries will probably still be majorly affected by impending economic problems as a result of these demographics, though I don't see it likely that their economies will suffer to the degree that more impoverished nations' economies will. The smooth transition to the free market will give these countries an edge over their neighbors as a result. Speaking of which, I should make the connection between demographics and geopolitics. Ukraine was invaded by Russia in 2014, and the Crimean Peninsula was unilaterally annexed by Russia. Today, Ukraine faces rebel groups that are made up of ethnic Russians fighting for independence and eventual integration with their fatherland. Though Estonia, Latvia, and
They need to, like, assimilate the Russians or something. Or do something with them.
Lithuania do not currently have rebel groups within their borders, and their governments are much more stable anyway, so this outcome wouldn't be so likely. Russia has been wanting to reintegrate all of the Russian people back into its nation, partly due to its own demographic problems, including its low birth rate. Acting in this manner in recent times,
Russia's just too big, honestly, and it's just such a small population.
is very telling, as
Russia in 2071, if it secures its goals in Eastern Europe, I'll explain this map in more detail.
racing against the clock to establish its presence in these areas before the nation will inevitably turn inward to solve its aging crisis. Whether Russia can succeed in their goals in the Baltics depends on how willing its allies in NATO are to defend them. All three Baltic countries, especially Estonia, are home to many NATO and United States military bases, as the region is very strategic in the balance of power between the West and Russia. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania's titular ethnicities would much rather be aligned with the West, due to both historical grudges with Russia and themselves being part of Western culture, rather than the Orthodox-influenced culture of Russia and much of Eastern Europe. Really, the future of the Baltics depends on how willing Russia is to expand its borders to its diaspora in this region, and how willing the West is to defend its allies.
We better defend them.
The Baltic states' importance in international geopolitics cannot be understated. They mark another point of contention between the goals.
Although one thing is, I'm pretty sure Estonia has conscription for its males. Males have to serve, right? So that's a good deterrent as well and helps, A small trained military is a good idea. And of course, I'm not sure if Lithuania and Latvia have conscription. Let's check. Let's see. Lithuania reinstates conscription. In March 2015, the Lithuanian government reinstated conscription. Okay, so I think it does, and let's see if Latvia has conscription. Shoot, Latvia. Return to military conscription discussed in Latvia. Yeah, so I don't think Latvia has it, but let's see, let's go to Google first and let's just check. Okay. So Latvia have mandatory military service. Latvian National Armed Forces consist of the regular force, National Guard, and Reserve. On January 1st, 2007, conscription was abolished, and since then the regular force consists of only professional soldiers. Oh, Latvia does not have it, huh? Unless you double check on Lithuania. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Lithuania does have it, okay. So, it's good that Lithuania and Estonia have conscription. It's a little bit worrisome that Latvia does not. Maybe Latvia needs it just to have a better chance in case things go a bit awry.
Of democratic consolidation by Europe and the ethnic unification of the Russian people. I can't really say a war will happen here soon, since the governments of the Baltic States are too stable to have a major pro-Russian armed faction appear in the country, but really only time will tell. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with all of your friends.
Alright, that was a pretty cool video. If you enjoyed my reaction, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And comment down below your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Bye.